Zero. Welcome to the second episode of Anime Under Observation Podcast, or AUO. As we all know, it's a tribute to Art AUO, Gilgamesh himself, and I am I guess the guy who talks the most, a lot, I don't know, Melem, yes. And with me today are my two fellow weebs, and we are here to talk about the second episode of ReZero. So introduce yourselves, my guys.
So I'm Zoe. I'm an elephant. I think that's all you need to know about me.
Yeah, I'm like Rio. Yeah, I'm like the technical guy, and like yeah, last podcast had a lot of freaking audio glitches. So hopefully I did a few like Discord magic, and hopefully that just fixes all of it. But like whatever. Yeah, Rio Futaba is good. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
so this is the second episode of the pod, and yeah, since just like last time, Rio was the last to finish the rewatch or like the episode, he'll have to do the recap, cause yeah, Vice game or
I like
punishment
how
game, I
I like.
guess.
I don't know why it's a punishment game, man. I just like I feel like I'm the only one who's actually doing the time of rewatching the show. Cause like you two
Hey,
are still using it from memory.
no, I
I
rewatched the
watched this
show.
this morning though when
I
I woke
watched
up.
I watched it yesterday.
I,
I'm
I watched
oblivious.
it
Like
like
usually, as soon as we finish
30
this,
minutes. I just finished it like literally 30 minutes ago. I finished watching it. But okay,
well,
whatever. Right. So recap of the
well,
episode. Episode 2. Reunion with the witch, whatever. Okay, so like I did watch this when it was airing. So like it's actually two episodes in one. Actually no. Yeah, wait, yeah, it's two episodes in
yeah,
one,
it's
but I
two
Yeah,
remembered
episodes
it's
in
three
like
and
one.
four.
Like
it
episode
no
one
but
is the
like
only
episode
one that's
one
the double length. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
but
the
like
only one that's
episode
really
one was
double
double
length.
length and
Or
then
no,
like
episode
yeah,
18 I
I
think
remember
as
now.
well.
Yeah, but anyway, it's like, alright, so irritated at being called the jealous witch, Satala leaves, and like, of course, Subaru like attempts to prevent the insignia from being stolen, fails, gets killed again, in the alley while chasing Felt. So like he respawns, and it finally dawns on him that he's actually like returning to death. He's like, I think that's the point when he figures out that he's actually like time leaping. Yeah, it's the point where he figures out he's time leaping, and he has like this freaking monologue with himself about that whole ability. So then after a while, he goes into an alley, and he's gets saved by from like the three like muggers by this guy named like Reinhardt, which I cannot get over his name. Like every single time I hear his name, I just remember Reinhardt from Overwatch, and that's just
I
me. I
remember
don't
Reinhardt from Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
I don't know. It just takes me out. I don't know. And alright, so Subaru asks him to like tell Stella not to come to the Satella not to come to the loot house. And then Subaru heads over to the loot house, runs into Elsa, who notes his unusual behavior. Later, he sees Felt, tells her what Rom said, and that the whole bargaining thing with the phone, and then yeah, he Felt refuses to like buy the thing from him yet because of his like suspicious behavior. But then like someone knocks on the door and like Subaru's like scared shitless, thinking it's like Elsa, but it's actually like Satilla there. And then yeah, okay. So after that, Satilla's there. Some like Pucks like comes out because like Elsa is about to attack Satilla, but then like Subaru like calls out to him, and then yeah they fight and keep fighting, and in the process like old man Rom gets injured, and then yeah more fighting, and then eventually like Reinhard comes in, and then they fucking fight, and like yeah Reinhard just is like a freaking beast and destroys the fucking house, Mega Man style, and yeah. So then eventually Subaru like finds out that Satala's real name is Emilia, and then he freaking collapses because he was actually injured by Elsa. And then like, all right, so like
Yeah, I
all the
laughed at
people
that
who are
part. That was
all the
funny.
people who are conscious are now talking, and Felt's like, all right, I'm gonna return this insignia considering you saved me. And Reinhardt like goes from freaking nice guy to freaking I'm triggered as fuck, and like it's like no, I can't let you do that, and then he just like takes the insignia and then fucks off, and that's how the episode ends. So
So who
yeah.
wants to start? Who wants to start?
I guess I'll start.
Yeah, well, we go from guy who hates it the most to guy who likes it the most again. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I think that's a working format. So I'm gonna open this up with a public apology. As soon as this episode opened, from when so he goes to the alley, gets killed by the three dudes. Well, the dude with the knife, and he time leaps immediately back to where we started at the shop, right? So my
Mm-hmm.
new so I guess there's no time frame of when he returns. I guess my new theory is every arc there's gonna be a point where it's gonna be his save point, and whenever he dies, he's gonna go back there. Now, how that save point's gonna get chosen, we'll see next. We'll see. But for now, I can understand that. That makes sense. Um. We talked about Reinhardt a bit a while ago. I like the dude. He's pretty beast. But I just can't get over his eyes. Like,
Oh my god. Jesus.
Well, what's the
No,
problem with his
actually,
eyes,
the
man?
thing though about Reinhardt was like at the beginning, I honestly was getting like, I didn't know if it was like nice guy vibes or was it like slight homosexual undertones going on between the
Oh my
two.
god.
No, really. But then it was revealed later on that Reinhardt is actually in a pedo.
when he picked up Felt.
What?
He
Well, no,
wasn't.
no,
He
no.
was. I thought at first he was into men, but actually he was into little girls. And this is how
Bro,
we get
bro, bro.
taken down.
Felt is 15.
Yeah, she's
That's the
15.
point.
She's
That's
15.
fine.
It's
So,
legal. I'd imagine Reinhardt is what? I don't know,
18 to
20? My
24?
parents have a 5 year
Yeah.
gap, you know. My parents have a 5 year gap. That's fair, you know.
Like I don't know. Yeah, I do get. He had weird eyes, man. I do understand what how you felt. Like
I mean, you guys I think you've seen Perfect Blue, right?
yeah,
We all have, I think. Have we all
Yeah, I
seen
think
yeah,
Perfect
so.
Blue?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So remember the creep guy who was stalking the main character?
Yeah.
yeah.
His eyes look like Reinhardt's.
Oh my god.
That's what I can't get out of my head, man, when
Are you
watching
sure it's
it.
the eyes? I think it's the distance between the
Yeah, it's the
eyes.
distance between the eye. Jeez. Like, okay, I started drawing like when I was a kid, and one of the rules when drawing a face was normally eyes were one eye distance from each other. This dude, you could fit like two or three eyes between his two, man. It's very unnerving. But like I said, he's a beast. I like him. And he's a
I mean,
redhead. That's my thing.
Okay, so like the way you talk, it seems to me that you're probably gonna laugh at the Darwin's Game anime adaptation because like I've been looking at some of the pictures of the main character and hot damn, the distance between his two eyes. Damn. You should go Google it.
Sure, I'll do that later after this.
I
But one
mean,
thing I really liked about this episode is the at the middle when Subaru went to Felt's house and they had a fight.
oh
That
yeah,
was a really good fight. Like,
oh yeah.
damn.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my
I
god, oh
was
my god.
in
That,
general. I
that
was
was really
gonna
good.
remark that like fight animations, like what's their name again? What's the studio? White Fox.
White
White
Fox,
Fox,
yeah.
like yeah,
They're the
they
ones who did
did a pretty
Mushishi?
yeah they did a
Oh,
pretty
that's
good
Artland. That's
job.
Artland. White
Yeah,
Fox
they
Artland
did
did
Steins Gate.
Mushishi. The things White Fox have done, like the other, like
What?
really popular one is Steins Gate.
Steins Gate, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of my all-time
So, like,
favorites.
Yeah, the kind of weird
watching
twist
the
of fate.
okay.
Yeah.
So watching the fight scene, it kind of reminded me of, like old Jackie Chan movie fight scenes.
Oh yeah, like using
Because the
the
thing with Jackie Chan movies is he likes to use chairs a lot, and the
using
way
like
Subaru,
furniture in general.
yeah, and the way Subaru was using the
The
long bench.
table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was that a bench or a table? I
I
don't
think
know.
it's
it
a
was it was
table,
some
cause
this was table.
who cares? It's a
I'm sure
long
it's a
wood
table.
furniture, whatever.
Yes, same. So he was using it as a shield, both defensively and offensively. I really like the fight choreography there. I think it's actually better than it's better than the fight later in the episode with Elsa. But I
Yeah,
don't know. What do you
actually.
guys think about that?
Which
I
Elsa
mean,
fight? The one where she fights Reinhardt?
Yeah, the one where she fought Reinhardt. Because,
the,
the geometry of the scene just didn't make any sense to me. It felt like I was just watching an old Gundam fight where it's just beams flying at each other.
Lol.
The way the way it was sequenced, man, it was just weird. But I did like the visuals of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I think
definitely.
choreography wise, the Felt v Subaru fight made more sense to me.
well, I could understand what you were saying because like using like the elements around you and then like turn incorporating that into the whole fight. Like it had a lot. I think it had a lot more going for it. Like sort of fight choreography wise. Because like the problem with like the whole Elsa fight was that it, I think part of it was that it was happening like all indoors in a way, but like the camera was just all over the place because she's moving too fucking fast. While
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
in the scene before that, like with Feltnall, like you could realistically understand where her like moves were coming from at a pace that like wasn't inhuman. Even though she could go faster, as we saw in the previous episode, she was fighting Subaru like she would fight a normal human. So like
Yeah, but there was a cool like part in that fight where the camera where the camera was just what do you call that? Elsa's eyes, and the camera was just panning in and out to Reinhardt, and that was really cool. But other than that, the fight was pretty boring.
dude, dude, I was laughing though. Like I just was rolling on the floor laughing. You know when the freaking Reinhardt summons his
Well,
freaking Megamin
I
blast?
like the sound effects of
Dude,
the
I could
storm.
not.
Yeah, when he just leveled the entire
When he
room.
just goes ballistic, bro, I can't, man. This guy right
Okay,
Oh my
here.
god.
so one thing that reminded me of that move he did. So you play Fate, right? Melem. Yeah.
Yeah, FGO.
So
Of course. I'm the
yeah,
only one who
that's true. I
still
think.
plays it,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
guess. Wow.
So you know how Reinhardt's form when before he was attacked, before he attacked, it looked like he was doing a Mumio Sandanzuki.
Oh my god.
Then it just became Musashi's like her new NP animation,
Ishanat
was just one big
Daitensho. Oh,
slice.
the
Yeah, that was
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, and then like it just splits the light. Yeah, oh my god. I don't know. A lot of people seem to not like
I
that
loved it
animation,
though.
but I don't
But
know.
yeah, that was really
I
cool.
like it because it kind of symbolizes because in the FGO like a lot of people prefer the old one, but I like the new one because it symbolizes that Musashi isn't cutting something physically, rather spiritually, and that's kind of the whole point of the. Oh shit! This is spoiler territory, isn't it? Whatever. But that's the whole point of Shimosa. It's not about winning in terms of pure strength. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna spoil Shimosa. Play Shimosa if you play
So
FGO.
yeah, I guess that's my
It's
thoughts
a
for the
great.
episodes for now. So who's next?
I
Sure,
am.
go ahead.
I tend to be the one who's kind of middle about this. Okay, so the highlight for me is pretty much the I don't know. Like it seems to me that Subaru. Okay. Preface this. I don't like Rem. Okay, and I fine if you do. I don't mind that. You can like her if you want, but I don't like her. And this episode is kind of a reminder to me why I don't like her. Because to me, Subaru seems to be able to play off other characters extremely well, except for Rem. I don't know why. I don't know what is it with Rem that her shtick or jokes just don't land.
Okay.
Because when Subaru makes makes a like a gag. Like it's as if it really hits. Like look at the thing with Reinhardt. Like his like immediate instinct when he sees Reinhardt is like, oh, it's a night. I kind of have to be overly formal. And then when Reinhardt just breaks the ice, he's like, oh yeah, this guy's a normie and I'm a loser. Like
So
that worked.
so yeah,
I don't know why it doesn't work for Rem. What do you guys think?
I think I have an explanation for that.
We haven't
Okay,
even
okay.
gotten to those episodes yet, but yeah.
Yeah,
Cause
I know, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
why
I
I
get I
like
get
this
what you.
episode. So like I don't know why it doesn't work later on. Like right now it's working. Like I think we can all agree like the dynamics between the characters, the interactions,
yeah, the
they're
comedy's funny.
really yeah, like the jokes land. You can see the character traits. Like you already know off the bat just from a few interactions what they are. Okay, you know Reinhardt is a noble guy who's kind of quippy in some ways. Like Subaru's like he's a loser, but he's also funny. Like Emilia's like the overly serious but also really nice person. Felt is ambitious to a fault, but is also she also like cares about the people who've helped her along the way. Like we all know that. Like I just don't know. What do you guys think? Like why
Okay.
does
I'll try to explain this. So remember when we talked yesterday where Subaru and Emilia had the funny guy straight man dynamic going on.
yeah.
So the thing is, that kind of dynamic only works when the straight man is pointing out how much of a doofus the funny guy was looking, or how unfunny the guy actually is,
Oh, okay, okay,
and that's
okay.
where the
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay.
comedy
I know where
comes
this is
from.
heading. I
Okay,
know where this
okay.
is heading. Okay.
So the character dynamic between Subaru and Rem is, in a nutshell, is basically Rem likes Subaru a lot and she keeps on praising him.
No matter
So
how
you,
stupid it is.
so yeah, you kind of lose the funny man. Okay, Subaru's still a funny man, but Rem isn't a good straight man because she just fawns over Subaru all the time. She doesn't point.
Actually Rem takes the funny man dynamic as well in certain interactions.
Yeah,
Like
and that doesn't work.
if I recall correctly, like
Funny, too funny,
I believe
man.
okay, this is spoiler territory, I guess, but I remember in like the OVA there was a time when like Rem filled an entire bathroom with like mayonnaise because Subaru is a fan of mayonnaise and like I don't know. It was just kind of weird. Like Subaru did his usual over the top reaction to it, and Rem was like, "Yeah, that's amazing." And I'm like,
Yeah, there's no balance there.
"Yeah, it just didn't land for me."
So yeah, I think that's why the comedy doesn't work. So go ahead again.
Yeah. So I don't really have much else to comment other than the fact, yeah, I agree. I also really like the sound effects here. Oh my gosh. Like,
Oh, they were
I'm
good.
good.
They were
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I gotta give it that. Like, I'll give ReZero first and second episode that. Great sound effects, guys. Good job. And in general, I just really like this episode. It's just all around just fun character interactions. We know off the bat what these guys do. We know what they are. And I just can't help but like them all really. Like even Subaru, like even though later episodes I do sour on him, like at least in this episode, like his funny shtick and all his wacky over the top like skits, like when he starts dancing for no reason and whatever. Like oh my gosh. And like when he just pulls off that deep voice where it's like Kimi no namai wa. That was funny, oh my gosh. I laughed. Like oh my god. Like and Emilia agrees. She also laughed. It was funny. Oh my gosh, great
Yeah, but she
shit,
was trying to
guys.
hold it in, man. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, she kind of realizes that this guy's a bit over the top. Cause like, I remember when she was like, when he was like talking like to her about. I'm trying to remember the context. I think it was like after the battle, and like she was just basically being serious throughout the whole conversation. Like, she was like taking whatever he was saying at face value,
Yeah.
which
She
was
thought, oh my gosh, is he gonna like extort me for money? Maybe he's gonna take advantage of me in the S kind of way. But nope, he just wants to know her name. Oh my gosh. And though, like, I will say, maybe to criticize this a bit, like, I just kind the first time he dies in the episode with the the death thing, it kind of felt a bit convenient, but I mean, there are anime that do worse, so I'm willing to forgive it at least. But it's just a bit too convenient. He just happens to walk into a knife. Like
I
I
don't
would
know. I
have
thought it
preferred
was
that. I would have preferred if they just straight up killed him. Honestly.
it was just funny for me, honestly. Like, I mean, bro, like I don't know. I mean, this isn't like freaking Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, where like
Oh, I
you
wish
know.
it were. I wish it were. I wish it were.
No, no, no. But the whole knife thing, like
And by the way,
freaking in.
before anyone corrects my comment, it's I wish it were, not I wish it was. There's something called subjunctive mood. Google it, okay? I'm not wrong. You are wrong.
No, but like legit, like remember in Disappearance when Kyon gets stabbed and like, he's like looking at the
Oh,
freaking
oh,
stab.
oh my gosh. Oh my god. I remember this. Atsui,
I just,
Atsui,
I just, I
Atsui,
just kind of
Atsui. It's
wish that
hot,
they
it's hot.
had. I just kind of wish they had like the balls to show that. I mean, that would have been cool. Just, I
I
don't
don't,
know. It's just things you only get from Kyoani, you know.
it's a TV anime though. You can't really get away with much.
I know, but like, they did it with what's
Director's
her
cut.
name, the freaking. I remember in like that episode where Kyon gets attacked by the
Blue-haired girl.
other, yeah, other
The blue-haired
artificial,
girl.
Sakura.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Sakura.
That was. I mean, that was just great. Like just zero to yandere in like in such a great like in such a fast pace.
I mean, yeah, I like that, but like the ReZero, like the beginning, I just
Yeah, I do
it
get
was
the little bit
kind,
of
yeah, it was
violence.
kind of a bit too convenient. But I mean, it kind of served its purpose, I guess. But
It is actually telling him that he can return back to death. I mean, return back to life.
yeah, it serves its purpose, but I think it could have probably been done better. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's I can gloss over it if it ends up being great, but it doesn't. Spoilers. Sad. Anyway, I'm okay as well. You got who's next? Rio. You're the last one.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, so like coming straight off the heels of this episode, so like I don't know, great. First thoughts in chronological order is right like basically I already talked about like the whole like Reinhardt thing. I mean that was just hilarious for me. It was also hilarious to sort of like there was like one scene there where like Reinhardt no where like Subaru like looks up and down Reinhardt and I just can't man like the first shot is a panning shot downwards and I'm like what does this suggest from Subaru? Panning shot downwards, then it pans back up again. I'm like, okay, just checking this guy out.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no, it was just funny for me. I was just taking in the visual imagery of it all. And like, alright, so like, Reinhard, all that. And then like Subaru being like, thinking to himself, which is actually, I found it interesting. Like, he was thinking to himself, maybe I should get this guy to help me with the whole, like, getting killed in the loot house thing. But then he realized, nah, I probably shouldn't. Because, like, he was probably thinking I shouldn't get this, like, knight stuck in, like, my shit. So, like, he was like, okay, so we see this girl, yeah, tell her about not going to the loot house. Which in a way ends up going the other direction because she exactly goes to the freaking loot house to look for her insignia. So I agree with like Melem and Zoe because like sound design was pretty good. The fights were enjoyable to some degree. Like I do like Felt's fight more just because I liked how the dynamics of that. But like the visuals of the whole Elsa thing fight was okay, and the whole like freaking spirit, freaking like attack of Reinhardt's just ludicrous, and I don't really know much else to say except oh yeah, and then look closing thoughts or actually two closing thoughts. I liked the scene with Felt because I actually like enjoyed her as a character because she has spunk, but like has reason for that spunk. I mean, she did grow up in the freaking slums, and like she wants to like get out of there. So like, in terms of her character motivations, I mean, you almost gotta respect her for wanting to steal something. She doesn't care about the freaking politics of like their land or whatever magical hoobly doo is like going on. She just wants to like get out of like poverty. So like, you know, she's a pretty simple person, and like in the end, she's like, you know, she has a good heart to some degree, which I appreciate. And that's like scene where like Subaru's like patting her or whatever. That was pretty cute. And then the last closing thought is freaking that Reinhardt freakout scene when he sees the insignia and he's just like, nope, I'm gonna take Felt out, like just puts her to sleep and then carries her out. Like, I don't know, man, that was hilarious. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I found it funny too, but like when I first watched it, it was kind of weird
it was
to me.
weird. It was weird,
Okay, well,
bro. It was weird, man.
yeah.
Imagine like
But like knowing,
a
no, yeah, yeah.
21-year-old guy just puts a 15-year-old girl to sleep after seeing an insignia and like
Oh
just
my
taking
god.
her out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was really weird, like at the first time, but like now that like we all like know like what's
Yeah, we know
gonna
what's gonna happen.
happen.
But
It's just
imagine
the first
sitting
time I
there
watched
like,
it.
you know, a
Yeah,
couple of years back and seeing that.
no
Yeah, no
context.
freaking context. Reinhard just grabs a girl and takes her away and expects
And the eye
Emilia to
open
just
up.
be chill with this. Bro, you know, it's the only thing that I don't get. Like, Emilia's just
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
she should have,
yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
like,
My
I mean,
God.
for someone with such a good heart, I would have expected her to be a bit more, like, freaked out that, like, a supposedly good knight is suddenly doing this. I don't know. It's just one of the things that took me out, but also made me laugh. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. We probably could have just I don't know. They probably could have I don't know reasoned something else. I don't know. How could they have reasoned it better? Let me think.
Just say,
Hmm.
they helped us,
Or maybe
but I still have to put them in jail, so they're coming with me, kind of
yeah.
thing.
Actually, that could have
or I
worked.
don't
Like
know. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he could have explained that he
Or
has
I don't
no
know. Maybe
plan.
felt this like I don't know.
Yeah, could have explained that he has no plan of putting them in jail, but he's just gonna like question them or something because this was a crime scene. So like like you can get questioned in a crime scene even if you like weren't involved in the crime. It's just like they wanted to ask.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then through that manner, it would have been a bit more natural instead of just freaking the fuck out and then taking her. I mean, imagine what will happen if like freaking old man Rom wakes
Well,
up
okay. Here's
and
the
thinks
thing.
Felt's been taken
I
away
get
from
what you
her,
mean about
him.
yeah. I get what you mean about that, but in a way, him freaking out makes sense, but the way they go about it is not
Yeah, the
natural.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because it makes sense because oh shit, this person is like a candidate for the throne, isn't that? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you have
Like
the insignia.
like yeah, yeah. Like that's kind of a holy shit moment because let's say like some homeless kid that you meet like in the street and you learn, "Oh shit, this person is the president's kid."
Not a king's
Like
kid, jeez.
or a king's kid, whatever. Same thing. We're in a democracy, man. You got to keep up with the times. So yeah, so I can understand the holy shit thing, but like the way it gets there, it just kind of bit murky. But hey, I mean, if it turns out great, which it doesn't, I could forgive it, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it was a good way of just showing how significant the insignia is. Cause we're in we okay. We're thinking like Subaru here. We don't know how important this insignia is. So seeing Reinhard go ballistic over an insignia just shows how significant it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we
yeah, the
get an
portrayal
indication.
was pretty weird.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay. So that's our rewatch done. So for the next topic, we have decided to not just talk about one episode of ReZero every time because that would probably be, repetitive. So we decided to probably just talk about one topic per episode to add. And the topic that I have chosen is to talk about. Oh, I gotta think of the topic first. What do you guys want to talk about?
So, okay, full disclosure, the reason why I don't remember a lot about this episode was I was watching Boogie Pop before starting this podcast.
Are you
Oh,
still fucked up?
I have not seen Boogie Pop yet. I mean, you
It's
have
really
told
good,
me to.
man.
You have told me to.
Suema is the best worthless character in any anime I've seen. Like her role is basically she noticed something is going on, but when she arrives at the crime scene, everything's already solved.
Lol.
But I love all the advice she gives to the people she encounters in the because she's the I guess the nerd in the series. She knows a lot, I guess, when it comes to murder. So or just she just has a lot of wisdom, I guess. So a lot of characters, even though she's not really involved in whatever's going on, they like to talk to her just for some advice, and the advice she gives are really good. She kind of reminds me of Ami, aka best girl from Toradora.
Uh,
Oh my
oh
gosh.
man.
Oh
Oh
my
shit.
dude. Okay,
Holy
okay.
shit.
I see where you're going with this, bro. Okay, okay. You mentioned Ami. You know what you're gonna get from me, my boy. Yeah, I love Ami. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Characters
god.
of her ilk are like. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It was
That,
it
that,
was refreshing to see because like you would expect with all the like regular tropes of like romance anime that they're gonna like do that whole harem shit. But like Toradora, I mean, we knew that like the beginning episode of Toradora already said that like the story is gonna be finished. Like this is
I
the
mean, it's
actual
the
like
title,
OC couple. Yeah,
Tora
it's the
and
freaking
Dragon.
yeah. But like like I guess the community at the time and even some lost souls now still like watch that anime and like think that think that he's gonna end up with like one of these other girls, but it actually portrays like like what would happen if there are people who happen to like this guy but realize that it like either it doesn't work out or like this girl came first, like just in general it was refreshing to
Yeah,
see
that's
that.
yeah, that's why Ami's character works a lot. Cause from the get go, you know she's not gonna win. I'm pretty sure the only reason why she was introduced is as a way for the author to get across her main message of the series, and that's that admiration is different from love. And
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
basically the
oh
story, right?
man.
So
Yeah.
the story starts with Isaka liking the vice president,
Yeah, it's
what
Kitamura.
Kitamura, while oh god, what's the main character's name?
Ryuji.
Ryuji
Ryuji,
Ryuji.
Dragon Eyes.
likes
Oh, dude,
yeah.
dude, I do know the theme of this episode now. It's all about the eyes, man.
Ice
Yeah,
Bro.
Wallenstein.
I
No,
saw
because
Einstein.
like, remember Zoe talked about eyes? And now we're talking about
We talked
Ryuji's
about
eyes.
It's coming full
Wallenstein.
circle.
Yes. I,
So
I, I,
basic
I was watching Sword Oratoria, so yeah.
so basically the advice Ami gives in the beach arc, I don't know what it's called, but I'm just gonna call it the beach arc, is when one person in a relationship puts the other in a pedestal, it doesn't the relationship won't work. And that's
Uh-huh.
why
Oh,
and
okay, okay, okay. Oh my gosh, this is
and
like
it makes
Monogatari, isn't it? Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
and it
yes.
makes
Oh,
sense coming from her.
yes.
And it makes sense coming from her because she's not just a character built for the purpose of giving that advice to the main characters and the audience. The advice comes from her character itself because she's a model. She's used to being put in a pedestal by other
Yes, yes,
people.
yes, yes. She
Yeah,
has
yeah,
like
So
yeah, yeah,
stalkers
that's
and
yeah.
why
all
it was
that.
such a breath of fresh air when she met Ryuji and he just treated her like she was a normal girl. She didn't like overly praise her. He even saw the problems in her personality. That's why she likes him. So I think that's a nice way of.
Saying
Because my
that
main
Ami is
problem with,
best girl.
yeah,
But then,
obviously, but
but
I
also
think it's just,
ultimately, but also
I think it's
ultimately, like,
sure, okay.
yeah, I know. It's just ultimately, it also goes back the other way around. Cause like, she likes Ryuji, but her like of Ryuji is more along the lines of admiration, but she can kind of confuse it with love. So like,
Yeah, that's why
she
it didn't work
admires,
for.
yeah, yeah,
That's why the two of
yeah.
them
But she
didn't work.
admires him because he sees her for what she is instead of what she portrays herself as. But like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just in general. Like, I'm agreeing with you in terms of the whole freaking. That's the central message of the show, and
Yeah,
like,
and that's why I love
yeah,
Ami. Because so often in a lot of shows, the author just introduces a character who knows everything, and
oh
when
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
characters need advice or when they need to know something, they just ask him. They just ask that character, and basically for no reason, the character just knows everything. I think a way
Oh,
of
I already have thought of a character that's like that.
The Morgan
yeah,
Freeman trope.
basically, and I love Ami because she's not that kind of character. She doesn't know everything, but
She
because
only
of her
knows what she
experience,
knows, right?
yeah, that's why I love Hanekawa, man.
Is this like social commentary on the Monogatari series? Because the way you describe that character, that's essentially just Gaian.
Oh yeah, that's true. Now Gaian's the main problem. Hanekawa's best. No, Hanekawa's not best girl,
Of
obviously.
course, it's Senjo
Senju
Gahara.
Gahara.
Oh yeah, yeah, Senjo Gahara sama. Oh my god, I don't know. I just she is
Oh
like
yeah,
probably my all-time favorite female anime character, honestly.
and the main reason.
Her Misato, I don't know. It's always either one of those two. You know, I have a I'm into them violet-haired girls, my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So what about you? What do you want? What do you want to talk about, Melem?
So what I don't
Were you talking
know.
about Yu-Gi-Oh a while ago?
Oh man, I don't Yu-Gi-Oh. I haven't even kept up with the meta game. I only keep up with Vanguard's meta game. Though of course I know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just that I haven't, you know, played the game
Well, we
itself
don't have a meta
in
game right
years.
now. There was a ban list, and there's no new tournament
Yeah,
because
that
of the pandemic.
yeah, we
So
know
we don't
why.
really
We
know the
know
meta
why.
because there's no tournaments yet to show us.
Well, I don't know any of the Link and the Xyz and all that. I'm until XYZ. That's the time I stopped playing. Then I started playing Vanguard because I don't know. I just like the aesthetic of Vanguard cards
But they
Yeah,
do
because
have
and
good looking
the games
cards.
are actually more interactive in Vanguard. I don't even know why I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays. Most of the time, I can't even
oh,
play. It's just my opponent comboing off for 10 minutes, then I'll just,
and then
concede.
yeah, pass and pass and pass and then you lose,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. Like I think what the genius of Vanguard is that like you can't necessarily like okay, here's the thing. Vanguard kind of works because you have this boss monster unit that's always on the field, and that's your main win con.
Yeah, it's basically a commander.
So, yeah. And it really works, in my opinion, because the pace of the game. Okay, in my opinion, what makes Vanguard work the best is kind of the pace of the game. Like if you get a median of 10 Vanguard games, the median number of games that it'll probably stop at is probably 6 or 7 turns around that. If you play standard, if you play premium, probably 9 games or so. And it's just in general interactive because you can always do something in Vanguard. You can always attack. It's always advantageous for you to attack. It's always advantageous of you to summon units because you can combo off skills and all that. Like I just I also really like the general aesthetic that most clans have because in Yu-Gi-Oh like from what I've noticed, okay, because I don't know, like, Zoe, you can correct me on this, okay? Because I
Sure.
haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in years, literal years. When was the last time XYZ was a thing?
I think like the previous format, one of the best decks was Orcus,
Okay,
and
so
one of its win condition is summoning an XYZ monster.
I guess I'm not that old. Or, no, I'm not old. You both are older than me. I'm my Yu-Gi-Oh
By a
knowledge
few
isn't that.
months.
Yeah, yeah.
Way to rub it in, man. Way to
It's
rub it
10 months, my
in,
dude.
man.
10 months. You're
Jesus
old,
Christ.
man.
I like how lost I
Yeah,
am
you're
in this whole
old as hell, man.
discussion.
Yeah.
I'm just baking. I'm just like absorbing all
Yeah.
the card
I mean, I'm
knowledge.
gonna teach you how to play
Man,
Vanguard
you
one
should
of
really
these
try
days, you know?
something. Yeah, eventually. Yeah, eventually. Well, I'm still waiting for like video games though. I mean, like everything's
Yeah.
canceled because of like
Lol.
COVID-19. So like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my time. Dude, what are we even doing? I mean, this podcast gives me like an existential
I don't know.
crisis. I mean, I wake up sometimes and I think,
Mommy?
no, I mean, I'm waking up and thinking this podcast probably the only productive thing I'm doing like in an entire day. I mean, let's be real.
I mean,
Like,
I
what do you
just
guys
read
do
manga
like in a day,
nowadays. I
like during
reread
this whole quarantine
Sonodemo
period?
Boku wa Kimi ga
Yeah, is that
Suki
productive, man?
yesterday.
Oh my god.
Yes! Kim
Kim Samsoon.
Sam-soon. That's my trigger word. Kim Sam-soon.
I know you introduced me to that, so I'm gonna
Yeah, oh
like
my
check it
god.
out, like, cause like I finally got
What about
Takio to be
self, man?
working
What
for
about
me, so I'm just
self?
gonna like
So,
I
Self is a freaking masterpiece. Self
I
is
showed you
a
the light,
absolute
man.
masterpiece. There is no better anime than
Manga.
Self. Oh no better
bruh,
manga than Self. I hope it gets
is
an
it better than
anime adaptation. I
Onani-san?
hope it gets an entire adaptation. I hope it gets
Okay, here's the
every
thing, here's the
adaptation.
thing, here's the
I hope it
thing.
turns into a
Onani
play, man.
Master
I want to see it as a
Kurosawa,
Broadway play.
it's actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually good. That's the surprising thing for me. A manga about masturbation is actually good. It's
Well, by the end of
No, but
it,
the
it
thing is,
wasn't about that
it's
anymore.
freaking
It
hilarious.
was,
Yeah, it wasn't
yeah, it
even
was him
about that. It
admitting
was
his mistakes
finding
and just
yourself.
changing as a
and dealing
person.
with it.
Philosophical,
Yeah.
like it had these existential and philosophical undertones. Like, I mean, at some point, eventually, this guy had long since passed trying to like get it on, and he's actually trying to get one with his fucking spirit, man. Like, like when he's at the waves, just trying to like, vibe with nature. I mean, dude, that's literally like the painting of that guy from the romantic period. You know that famous one? The one where like the guy's looking at the freaking wave? Yeah, that man was finding himself. And that's why I love Self. Because it's about, finding yourself, man.
Another good manga is actually Jigoku
Yeah,
Raku.
Self's just
Are you
great.
guys, are you finally on that thing, man?
Oh no, I'm not. I've been following the Vanguard
Bro,
metagame
it's a
again.
really good
I
shonen.
don't know.
Not surprisingly. I've been reading a lot of Shonen Jump manga right now.
So,
Because I kind of think, like, from last year up to now,
Oh,
it's
okay,
really
okay,
good.
okay. I have a question for you guys for Shonen Jump because I actually
yeah.
like I actually chanced upon a video of Super Eye Patch Wolf and it sounded really interesting. And it's that the top 5 series of Shonen Jump right now, they're probably all gonna end within the next 5 or so years.
What's the top five?
I
I didn't
mean,
watch the video.
Demon Slayer, One Piece, I'm pretty sure Promise Neverland, Haikyuu, and Doctor Stone.
Yeah.
I think one of it though is that I think the format of like manga is kind of
Yeah, I
changing.
agree, I agree.
Because like, I mean, back in the day, you used to have like
500
thousand, like
chapters.
like just chapters just don't.
Now,
Yeah,
normally,
chapters just don't
mangas would end
end.
around
But like, I think
300 to
now,
400.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think within.
yeah, but like
I don't think it's necessarily bad because let's look at Naruto, for example. Like, Kishimoto intended around Pain or so to be like the last arc, but like the
Zabuza was
editors.
supposed to be the last
Like,
arc.
hold on. But like, the popularity of Naruto apparently just made the editor say, "No, bro, you gotta continue this." But I think with the way our landscape has changed now, with how much new manga are out that are probably like less than 100 chapters. Hell, there are probably a lot of manga that are less than 20 chapters now. It's safe to say that, like, yeah.
I think part of it though is it's like anime. I mean, anime used to be
Yeah,
pretty freaking
normally you would see 50
long, but
episodes.
like
Then
Now
it went
it's a
down to
lot.
24. Now it's 12, 11 to 13 episodes. So I guess people just want more shows
More.
that they can just binge, as opposed to one long show
Part of it
that
too,
they'll have to follow around for years. I think people nowadays.
but I think the other part too is that like by making things shorter, you can kind of
I
improve
think
the
that's why.
quality. I mean,
Yeah, that's why MHA
before,
works.
so there was so much filler.
Yeah, definitely. But here's my thing. Like, since the top five are probably gonna end within the next 5 years, though with One Piece, you never really know, right?
I think we're at the last like saga or two.
Okay. Okay. Come back to me after 10
No,
years,
because
you know.
we only have
Die by
one
the
road
time One Piece
poneglyph missing. Okay,
ends.
Hey, I haven't
we're
finished it.
nearing
I
the One
haven't
Piece,
finished it yet. I'm at Punk Desert. Don't tell me anything.
bro. We're near the One Piece. I'm telling you.
Okay
One
then.
or more, one or two more sagas, and we're over. So
Sure,
that's
sure.
probably 5 to 10
Tell yourself
years.
that. Tell yourself that. But like that, like other than
Oh,
One
yes.
Piece, like MHA's probably got around 5 or so years left. Haikyuu is at its last arc, so I'll give it probably another year or maybe even half a year. Doctor Stone probably around 5 years as well, at most, at most.
Alright, I'm not following Doctor Stone.
Demon Slayer is probably around 1 or 2 years, like, or I don't know. It's really close to the end apparently. Like the author wants to end it probably in a year or so. So my problem, or not really problem, like I'm just wondering, like, will this allow other mangaka to get like a good chance. Like it will give them a chance to become the next One Piece or the next My Hero Academia or next Demon Slayer or whatever. But I just don't know what's gonna be the next one shot that's gonna make it big. Like we're gonna like have four big spots to fill. Those are some big shoes, man. Like when you're the top
Well,
seller of
every
Well, I
year,
Shonen
mean,
Jump.
I think part of it
well, every
too.
year they have this, this, what do you call that? The new author thing where they release a bunch of new one shots in like a span of 1 month, and whatever gets the most votes gets serialized. So, that's a nice way of farming good mangas, I think. It's like, the major leagues.
Farming good
Hey,
mangas.
I mean, that's where mangas
I mean, yeah, I get the
like
idea.
Runway de
I get the
Warate,
idea.
Boku
But like,
Benfica, they came out all
yeah.
at the same time, I think.
But I think part of it too is that in a way the landscape is kind of changing. I mean, manga, like physical manga, is sort of like becoming a different phenomenon now, especially since we're living on like the age of the internet and all. So like we're seeing a change in format because like you're seeing a lot more series which are like
Yeah, but I still
following
like
the
to
kind
have
of
physical
webtoon
copies.
dynamic, or even like just no, of course I like manga, like that whole thing, but like I feel like just because of the nature of technology, like there are going to be some changes, and people are less interested in long, elongated stories and more interested in like sort of short but
The
sort of
Netflix, the
poignant or
Netflix way of
dramatic
doing
kind of
things,
stuff.
essentially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I just think that this is gonna happen. It's the nature of art, man. It's like it's always gonna have like times when it's gonna shift or not, and it's gonna like change. Like there's gonna be what's in right now is gonna change. Like eventually. I mean, look at how different anime looked back in the '80s versus now. I mean, back in the '80s, they look like freaking like you know, they kind of looked like the American cartoons. I mean, you had like guys who were basically 90% chest, and now like there's been a shift towards like how the general shape of like male MCs is generally like a lot more androgynous. And I don't see any like I think it's just because art looks
Yeah,
different now.
because
It
we
just
have
changes.
different generations refer to different things as their take inspiration from different eras. And right now, and that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
one of Miyazaki's problem. and he's seeing that a lot of authors right now, a lot of directors, artists are just cannibalizing their own medium to the point where we're not really seeing anything new anymore because we just look at the same things.
So the
We're no
That's true.
overload
longer,
of all the escapist derivative bullshit that we see like every year, right?
yeah, I mean, even Gallion predicted this, right?
Yeah,
They saw the problem back then, and now it's at its
yeah,
peak with all of the Ellens coming out every season. Like
Well,
one
okay,
gets
okay, okay, okay. Full disclosure to anyone who watches this, we're not against Ellens. We fucking love
I
our
love
queens.
Ellens, man.
Okay, so I don't want people to get
yeah. We
us
love
to say,
villains.
"Oh, Ellen adaptations are all bad," or like
Bruh,
people to say
that's
that because that's just false. If you believe that, you probably need to get outside and
bruh.
just
90% of
get your
everything
brain
is
checked.
shit.
Yeah, because like everything has shit in it, but we're what Zoe is just trying to say is that everything, all of these Ellen adaptation, it just homogenizes certain portions of the industry. Okay, so yeah. Okay, back to you.
And my problem is, I think eventually we'll reach a point where everything's the same, kind of like right now, and that's when the new paradigm shift would happen. So I'm just waiting for it to happen, not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah.
And there's still good anime coming out. I mean, the last really good one I've seen is Violet
I,
Evergarden. If I had to make a list
I
right now
mean,
of my top 10, I'm not sure it would be in it, but it's gonna be in the top 20 for sure.
So apparently Rio's internet died, so I guess we'll just have to do without him for a while. He'll probably come back in like a couple minutes or so. So as we were saying, we were gonna talk about, in our opinion, our top five and our bottom five, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. You want to do this quote unquote objectively or not? Because, like, in my opinion, like, is it just me, but is quality and enjoyment like separate?
It's separate. No, no. It's not the same, but I think it okay. How do I okay. So I think quality is a perceived thing.
Yes, yes, yes. I
So
agree. I agree.
so obviously when you enjoy something, most of the time you think it's quality, right? It's
It
I mean
depends.
it's so I guess they're not one and the same, they're different, but they work together. If you know what I'm talking, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. You're saying it like it can be a factor. It can be a factor, right? But they're not the
Yeah,
same. Okay.
they're not the same. Wait, what happened? What was that sound?
How what?
You didn't hear anything? I guess it's a different Discord. Lol.
Lol Discord.
So
Okay.
I guess you can start. Because I can't really think of my bottom five, not gonna lie.
Well, okay. How about we do this? How about I just like throw you some anime and I'll then maybe those will be in your bottom five. I'll just like go on like my 1 out of 10s in my anime
Sure.
list, I guess. Number five. No, we can't rank this. Ranking is so hard, my dude.
Yeah, I can't even rank my top five.
Um, Kisses.
Nah, that's pretty fun when, you're in the mood for it.
Well, my problem with Kisses, man, is it doesn't have best girl.
You were talking about the anime, not the manga.
Yeah,
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 damn. It's
yeah.
one over
Terrible.
12, man. Because, Kiryu and Sensei only showed up for one episode out of 12.
Yeah, that's why it gets a 1 out of 10, right? Instead of a
Yeah,
12 out of 10.
1 out of 12.
Yeah, that's the
That's
only.
worse than 1 out of
Yeah,
10.
that's actually less than point 0.5, right? Or is it? No,
No, no, no, no, no, no, no.
that's greater
It's
than
1 over
point 0.5.
20.
Yeah, so around I don't
So
know.
it's around 1 point, it's around point 0.8, I guess, I
Yeah,
think.
around point 0.8. Hilarious.
Lulz, not even a full
Anything
point.
else? Arifureta?
I hate that, Jesus.
Okay. Well, you want to give it like a. You want to put it in the spot of the top five?
No, 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 I hate it because I just can't say anything about it other than It's
The
the most
animation is
edgy.
terrible.
No, no, no. Okay, that's a given. But it's just so generic and edgy that once you've seen it, you're gonna hate it. But you're not gonna remember anything about it. You're just gonna remember hating it.
You're gonna remember the bad CG. You're definitely
Oh,
gonna
of
remember
course,
that.
of course.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
But Overlord's remembered for its bad CG.
I thought Overlord was fine. I like the
I didn't
I
like
don't
it.
know.
I hate Albedo.
Oh, we're
No,
talking
no,
about Albedo. I don't really care for her. I kind of laughed because why? I
no,
don't know. I f-
my biggest problem with Albedo is my classmates.
what?
I know one guy who can't shut up about Albedo, man.
But what
There's
if I
this
don't
that
shut
guy.
up about Yukihime?
But I love Yukihime.
Okay, so that means it's okay then.
No, no, no. When you don't like something, and people don't shut up about it when talking to you, that's when you start hating it.
Okay. So it's not necessarily something you can put in the bottom
Of
five
course
now,
not.
is it?
School Days
Okay,
is
this is hard
definitely
then.
in the bottom five.
Okay, okay. Full disclosure. Here's another one of my takes that I just want to just put out there. I don't hate any of the characters of School Days. It's worse. I don't even remember them.
Yeah, aside from
Is that
Makoto
fair?
and yeah, I think Makoto's the only one I remember.
Yeah, I think that's the problem I have with School Days. When like people say, "Oh, you hate it. You hate the characters. That's why you think it's
Bro,
bad." And I'm like, "No.
bro,
No, I don't.
Forget Me Not did the same thing, but that
But I
works.
didn't forget the
Yeah,
characters. It's called Forget Me Not, man. They succeeded, right?
yeah.
The title
But it had
succeeded.
the
I
same
didn't
idea of
forget
what they
them.
should do in a story. Because, the main character, Forget Me Not, kind of an asshole, let's be honest here.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Like if you've seen the first couple of chapters, he's a piece of shit.
What do you feel for him? Because you see him growing up, and you understand all of the people he encounters. And that's the problem with School Days. They're not characters, they're just holes Makoto can get
Caricatures.
in. I mean, essentially.
And like here's my thing. Like people say, "Oh, Makoto was secretly genius because oh my gosh. Oh, it looks like Rio is back. You're back, bro."
Damn, what happened, bruh?
I think he lost internet.
Yeah, that's what he said. Internet's dead. Lels.
So, this is the end? Yes, this is the end. So like our video. I think I don't know. I don't want to do that. So yeah, bye. We're probably gonna do episode 3, and next step we'll probably add in something else.